Let me tell you something nobody warns you about when you move to a new country.
You will survive the airport. You will survive the job interview.
But the first time you sit on that paper-covered table in a cold exam room, trying to explain to a stranger that something inside your body is wrong,
In a language that still feels borrowed.
that's the moment that breaks you.
Welcome back to Everyday Calm English.
Where we talk about the emotional side of learning English.
Today, we need to tell you about Anna.
Her English is solid. She can order food, make small talk at work, even argue with her internet provider.
Which honestly might be harder than a doctor's visit.
Honestly, it might be. But 2 weeks ago, Anna started getting these headaches. Not normal headaches, the kind where the room tilts, where light becomes your enemy. She couldn't focus at work. She couldn't sleep.
And she knew she needed to see a doctor.
She knew, but she didn't go. Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday.
4 days of pain before she finally booked an appointment.
And when I asked her why she waited so long, she didn't say she was busy. She didn't say she forgot.
What did she say?
She said, I don't know the word for what my head is doing.
She had the pain, she just didn't have the vocabulary for it.
So, Thursday morning, Anna walks into the clinic. She signs in at the front desk and sits in the waiting room.
And like every non-native speaker in every waiting room in the world, she opens her phone.
She looks up how to describe headache to doctor English. She's reading words like throbbing, pulsating, sensitivity to light.
She's memorizing medical vocabulary like it's a final exam.
And here's the thing that broke my heart when she told me this. She said she read the word throbbing 15 times. She even practiced the TH sound under her breath in the waiting room, so she wouldn't mispronounce it in front of the doctor.
She was more worried about her pronunciation than her pain.
More worried about her pronunciation than her pain. Let that sink in.
So the nurse calls her name. Anna walks back. They take her blood pressure, ask her to sit on the table. The paper crinkles underneath her. The room is cold. And then the door opens.
The doctor walks in, young guy, friendly, talking fast.
Of course.
He says, Hi, Anna. So I see you're here about headaches. Can you walk me through what you've been experiencing? When did this start? How frequently would you say the episodes occur? And have you noticed any visual disturbances?
That's 4 questions.
4 questions in one breath. And 3 of those questions contained words Anna had never heard in conversation before. Frequently, episodes occur, visual disturbances.
Those aren't beginner words.
Those aren't even intermediate words. And just like that, every word she memorized in the waiting room vanished. Throbbing was gone, pulsating was gone, the TH sound she practiced, gone.
The white coat freeze.
That's what I call it, the white coat freeze. Your brain knows the answer, your mouth can't find it, and the silence in that room feels like it lasts a year.
So what happened?
Anna sat there. The doctor was waiting. She told me her eyes started burning because she was so frustrated, not confused, frustrated because she knows what's wrong. In her home language, she could give this doctor a 5-minute detailed explanation. She could describe the exact location, the rhythm of the pain, when it gets worse, when it gets better.
But in English?
In English, the only thing that came out was, My head. It hurts. A lot.
5 words.
5 words. And Anna told me she almost cried. Not from the pain, from the shame of being reduced to 5 words when she is a woman who speaks with intelligence and precision every single day of her life, just in a different language.
So did the doctor help her?
Here's where the story turns. The doctor looked at her, and he didn't rush her. He put his clipboard down, and he said 6 words that changed the entire appointment.
What did he say?
He said, "Show me with your hands if you can."
Show me with your hands.
Anna put both hands on the sides of her head and squeezed. Then she pointed at the lights and squinted her eyes. Then she made a pounding motion against her temple.
No English required.
No English required. The doctor nodded and said, "That sounds like it could be a migraine. Let's run some tests."
10 minutes later, she had a plan. 20 minutes later, she had medication. The appointment she had been terrified of for 4 days lasted 15 minutes. I think the thing people don't realize is that a doctor's office is not a classroom.
It's not. And your doctor is not your teacher. They don't need you to say throbbing. They don't need perfect sentences. They need to understand where it hurts, how long it's been happening, and how bad it is.
You can point. You can draw. You can show a picture on your phone. You can bring notes written in your own language and translate them together.
Communication doesn't require perfection. It requires honesty.
And it requires courage, because walking into that clinic, sitting on that table and trying, even when your voice shakes and your vocabulary disappears,
That's not weakness.
that's the bravest thing you'll do all week.
If you've ever been Anna, sitting in a waiting room, practicing a word under your breath, terrified of a conversation that a native speaker wouldn't think twice about,
You are not alone, and you are not less intelligent. You are operating in a language that wasn't given to you. You built it, word by word, from nothing.
so next time you're in that exam room and your mind goes blank, don't apologize. Just show them with your hands.
If this episode hit close to home, send it to someone who needs it. That friend who's been avoiding the doctor, that family member who won't make the call.
Subscribe if you haven't already. We're here every week.
Take care of yourselves,
And go to the doctor,
even if you have to point.
especially if you have to point.